Okay, so this is a quick video on how to add and subtract fractions. The main thing to remember is if you have got the same bottom number or the same denominator as it's called, like in this case 3/7 plus 1/7, all you do is add the top numbers. You do not add or do anything to the bottom numbers, okay? That is exactly the same if you are subtracting. If I've got 10/11 and I'm going to subtract 3/11, the bottom numbers are the same. Good. So the only thing I need to do is subtract the top numbers. 10 take away 3 is 7. Now, where it may get a little bit more complicated is what about if the bottom numbers are different? So let's say I've got 2/5 plus 3/4. Now the easiest way to work out what the common denominator should be is to take your two bottom numbers and multiply them together. So 5 4s are 20. Both 5 and 4 go into 20. Your next step is to look at, well, what do you do to 5 to get 20? You multiply it by 4. So I'm going to do exactly the same to my numerator. 4 2s are 8. And I'm going to do the same on the other side. What do I do to 4 to get 20? Well, I multiply it by 5. So I'm going to do exactly the same thing to my top number. I'm going to multiply the 3 by the 5. And by doing that, 3 5s are 15. I can see that 8 over 20 is exactly the same as 2/5. They are equivalent fractions. Same as 3 over 4 is equivalent to, or is the same as, 15 over 20. And when we have it like this, because we've got our bottom numbers are the same, all I need to do is add my top numbers. 15 plus 8 is 23, and we are done. It's exactly the same if I am subtracting. So let's say I'm going to do 10/11, take away 1/2. Okay, our denominator is going to be, okay, to work out the denominator, you have to just tidy this up a little, multiply the two bottom numbers together. 11 times 2 is 22. I am subtracting in this one. I think to myself, what do I do to the 11 to get 22? I multiply by 2, so I'm going to do the same thing to the 10. I'm going to multiply that by 2. And that gets me 2 times 10 is 20. I do the same to the other fraction. 2 multiplied by what is 22? 2 times 11. So I multiply the top number by 11 as well. 1 times 11 is 22. Sorry, 1 times 11 is 11. And then we can go ahead and subtract. Okay, the bottom number is the same now, so we don't need to worry about it. All we have to do is subtract the top numbers. 20 take away 11 is 9, and that is our answer. Okay, so key to it, remember if the bottom number is the same, you're just working with the top numbers, either adding or subtracting. If the bottom numbers are different, you get your common denominator by multiplying them together. 5 4s are 20, and in this case 11 times 2 is 22, and then we're working out our equivalent fractions. Okay, once you've got the bottom number, you can work out the top easy enough. Give me a shout if you need me to go over any of this again.